Hello everyone, welcome back to the session on financial modeling. Today in this lesson we are going to learn about the what if command. Now the question arises, what do you mean by word what if? Now as the name says that if this variable is changing, what will be the impact of change in that variable on the another variable? So what if means if I am going to change x variable, so that x variable must be having any impact on y variable. For example, you can see over here I have taken the example that suppose the revenue, that means revenue means your whatever products you are selling and multiply by your selling price. So if I am selling, let's say 4,000 units and one unit is for rupees 10, so my revenue is 40,000. Cost of goods sold, I have just suppose the cost of producing those goods is 9,000. So my gross profit comes out to be 31,000 and I have applied the formula over here. So 31,000 will be your revenue minus COGS. So D2 minus D3. One thing you have to remember whenever we are doing the financial modeling, there are two things over here. One is your core, that means you have fed that thing, and second is the formula. That means one variable, or you can say one figure is generated by yourself, that means you have, that is known as hardcore, and second is a formula based, that means second term is generated with the help of formula. So 40,000 right now I have done as a hardcore. I have not given any formula over here. COGS is a hardcore. Or even what I can do, I can relate this COGS with revenue. I can say that 50% of the revenue will be your COGS. So in that case, I must have put the formula over here. So right now it's hardcore. Now gross profit, I have not taken hardcore because we all know that revenue minus COGS is gross profit. So I have generated the formula over here. So if I am going to change my revenue or COGS, my gross profit will automatically be changed. Your selling and distribution in general expenses, I have taken hardcore. I have not put a formula over here, but EBITDA, I have put a formula because EBITDA means your gross profit minus your selling and general expenses. Then depreciation, I have taken your hardcore, no formula over here. Interest, hardcore, no formula. Though we can create it, the link, we can create the link with the revenue that we are going to learn in the future videos. EBT is your formula. Now, whenever we are calculating the EBT, it can be done. This 30,000, that means EBITDA minus depreciation minus interest. That means instead of writing like this, I can also write it like this. Your D6 minus your D7 minus your D8. If I am going to do it like this, the answer will be same. But whenever we are doing it in your financial modeling, we are not going to apply it like this. I'll say it your D6 minus sum of your D7 and D8. So I am going to take the sum and then I am going to subtract it. So I have just done some alteration in the formula. Answer will be same. Now taxes, I have not done any formula. I have not generated any formula. This is an hardcore. Even I can generate formula over here, or I can link it because we all know taxes are always linked with EBT. That means I can say it's 30% of EBT, 40% of EBT, or 10% of EBT. But right now, just for a learning purposes, I have not taken it as a formula based. I have taken as a hardcore. And now net income means your EBT minus your taxes. So again, the formula is over here. Now, what if means suppose I am going to change my revenue. So what will be my net income? Or if I am going to change my revenue from 40 to 50, what will be my gross profit? If I am going to change my revenue from 40 to 50, what will be my EBT? Or suppose I am going to change my depreciation. Suppose I have taken some assets whose depreciation is increased or decreased. So what will be the change in effect of change in depreciation on the net income? So what if means if any one variable of these, all this data is changed, so what is will be the effect on either on net income or in EBT or on revenue or on your gross profit. So that's the meaning of what if. If something is changing, what will be the impact of that change on another variables? Now, in today's lecture, we are going to learn how to solve it. Suppose I am saying, just give me, suppose I am the owner of the company and you are working as a manager. And I am saying that suppose a quick decision that suppose my revenue is increased from 40,000 to 80,000. So what will be the net income? Or give me the different scenarios that suppose instead of 40,000, your revenue is 50,000 or 60,000 or 80,000. So what will be the net profit? Or what will be your net cost? Or what will be if change in depreciation is changed from this to this figure? What will be your net income? So that means if any one variable is changed, what will be the impact of that variable on the another variable? So these kinds of things we are going to do it in financial modeling. So what this Excel is going to help us, it is going to help us in generating the effect of one variable on the another variable. So what if command, you will find it in the data view. Once you click on data view, you will get what if analysis. Now, whenever we are talking about what if analysis, we are having three kinds of things. One is we will be learning about the scenario manager. Then we are going to learn about goal seek, and then we are going to learn about data table. So first of all, let's go with the scenario manager. So now let's say I want to give you three scenarios. If your gross profit is increased from 31,000 to 41,000, what will be the effect of net income? Or I can say if instead of 31,000, it's increased to 51,000. Or if it increased to 61,000, that means I have given you three scenarios. If the gross profit is 41,000, if the gross profit is 51,000, or if the gross profit is 61,000, please give me the change in the net income. So that means I have put the what if condition. Now let's see how we are going to do it. So first of all, I am going to press it as a scenario manager. First of all, we will learn it with the help of mouse, and afterwards we are going to do it the same thing with the help of shortcut keys, with the help of shortcuts. That means with the help of your tabs. Now first of all, click the scenario manager. Now you can see that, okay, now I am going to calculate EBITDA. So that means EBITDA. First of all, I have given the name EBITDA 1. Now let's say EBITDA 1, I am going to edit it. Now EBITDA 1, I am saying the scenario name. First thing it is going to ask you scenario name. Okay, before starting, let me delete everything so that I can start it with the fresh one. Okay, the first name I am going to edit. So I am saying the first name is EBITDA 1. Now EBITDA 1, next they are asking the changing cell. What cell I have to change? I have to change my EBITDA. Okay, I am saying if EBITDA is changed, what will be the impact on that? So EBITDA, I am going to change the EBITDA. I am saying if EBITDA is changed from 30,000 to some other thing, or you can say gross profit is changed. Let's move to the gross profit. If instead of 31,000, my gross profit is now 41,000, what will be the impact on net income? So I am saying I have just done the cell number. D4 is my cell. Now, okay. It's saying it should be a formula. Our formula is there. So now I am saying instead of 31,000, if my gross profit is 41,000, what will be the impact? So first scenario I have created. Now let's move to the second scenario. Now second scenario, I am giving the name to be EBITDA 2. And again, I am saying the changing cell will be my gross profit. Now, previously I have given 41,000. Now I want it for 51,000. Okay. Now second scenario is created. Let's move to the third scenario. EBITDA 3. Again, my cell name will be D4. I want to change the gross profit. Now I am giving the gross profit. We have given 41, we have given 51. Let's move to 61,000. We are creating the three scenarios. Now three scenarios are created. Now I want to see the impact of each scenario. That means if my from 31,000 to 41 or 51 or 61, what is the impact on my net income? So let's move to the summary. Now summary, they are saying what is the result cell. So my result cell will be my net income. I want to see the impact of change in gross profit or net income. So on whatever impact you want to see, you have to click that. And I have done it. Okay. Now you can see it has given me that if my gross profit is changed from 31 to 41, my income will be this one. If it is increased from 51,000, the answer will be 46,050. And if your gross profit is 61,000, then your answer will be 56,050. But now you can see over here, it has given me the changing cell. That means this cell is changing and this is a result cell. Over here it's written D4 and D11. These are the name of the cells. But while looking on this, I am not able to understand what does this D4 represent and what does this D11 represent. So what I am going to do, I am going back to the cell. This was my changing cell. That means I want to see the impact of gross profit, this cell, on this cell. This is my D4 and this is my D11. So I'll click over here, and instead of, you can see this is a cell named D4. Instead of this, I'll write my gross profit. I'll name this cell as gross profit. Profit, and enter. Okay, now this name, we have seen the impact of change in gross profit on net income. So we'll again press it and write it over here, net income, and press enter. Now what I am going to do, now again I am going to see the summary, and my result cell is D11. It's okay, and now enter. Now you can see over here gross profit and net income is there. It's by mistake I have put a profit, gross profit, spelling mistake, and net income is mentioned over here. So this is how we are going to create the scenario summary. That means first part of what if is clear. Now next move to goal seek. So again I will click what if, goal seek. Now first of all it is asking you the set cell. So I want to change my net income. I want to see what will be the effect of on net income to the value. Let's say instead of 26,000, I am saying suppose my net income is 20,000. Instead of 26,050, it should be 20,000. And by what cell I want to see the impact? So I want to see the impact by changing the taxes. That means I am saying that how much taxes should be there so that my net income is 20,000. So I'll click OK. And now it has just told me that if my taxes are 8,750, then my net income will be 20,000. So I have given the goal that my goal is 20,000 of the income. So what will be the change on the taxes? So this is known as goal seek. Now once you will cancel it, it will give you the original values. Now third comes your data table. Now in this, let's say I want to say that if my one variable is changing, again all the aim of your what if, maybe your scenario manager, maybe your goal seek, and maybe your data table is same. That means if one variable is changing, what is the impact on another variable? Now over here I am saying, let's say again I just say that if my EBITDA is changing, what will be the impact on my net income? So let's say how I am going to do it. I am going to write EBITDA over there. And what I am going to do, I am going to write the EBITDA. That means what is my actual EBITDA? EBITDA over here, change in net income. That means I want to see the impact of change in EBITDA on net income. So I'll write net income over here. So that means first of all you have to write the variable. By changing that variable, what is the impact on another variable? My another variable is net income. So I'll write 26,050 over here. Okay, now I want to see the different scenarios. If you have remembered, right now we have done if my gross profit is changing from 31,000 to 41,000 or 51,000. Now I'm going to change my EBITDA. So let me write different situations. So first is my 30,000. Now let's write 40,000, 50,000. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag it. Now if I'm saying if my EBITDA is changing from 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 or 110,000, so what will be the impact on your net income? So what you are going to do, you are going to select this area, go to what if and your data table, because you will see that table is forming over here. Now whenever you are seeing, I am saying my columns are changing. I think everyone is aware of that these are your columns and these are your rows. So now I have to fill the columns over here. So I will not enter anything in, I'll enter the anything in, that means cell name in the column. Now what I have to change? I have to change the EBITDA. These are my EBITDA. So I will select the EBITDA over here. If my EBITDA is changing, what will be the impact on net income? So I have select the EBITDA cell and then I'll tell OK. Now what you are going to observe over here, it has taken the same value. That means 26050, it has taken the same value. Now see, that means if you are going to directly write 26050, that means I have not linked this data table with the original table. So you will not get the correct answer. What you have to do, you have to link it. Now let's see how we are going to link it. So now instead of writing 2650, what I am going to do, I am writing equals to and I'll click over here. So that means now I have linked it over here and then your enter. Now you can see all the values are changed. That means if EBITDA is your 30,000, your value will be 26050. Now you can see my EBITDA was 30,000, my value was 2650. If your EBITDA is increased to 40,000, your net profit will be 3650. If it is increased to 50, it will be 4650. If it is increased to 60, it will be 56650 and so on. So that means what you have to remember, you have to interlink the data table with your original thing. If you are not going to interlink, you will not get the answer. So this was the case when I want to see the impact of one variable on the another. Now let's say I want to see the impact of two variables on the net income. So what I am going to do it, first of all, I am writing EBITDA over here, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and I am going to drag it. Now, first variable I want to see the impact of net income, and secondly, let's say I want to see the impact of your depreciation. So let's say first depreciation was my 750. Next depreciation, let's say I want to take it 850, and third is 950 and so on. So what I am going to do, I am going to select it and then I am going to drag it. So now my what if is, if my EBITDA is changing and my depreciation is also changing, what is the impact on net income? So now again I am going to link my net income. So I am going to write equals to and net income over here and enter. Now I have linked my data table with that. Now how to do it? Select the area and again what if and your data table. Now in this you will see I have rows also, I have columns also, because this is your data table, this is your grid. These are your columns. So that means these I have written EBITDA. So EBITDA is your columns and depreciation is rows. Rows are like this. Horizontal are rows and vertical are columns. So on vertical thing I have written EBITDA and on horizontal I have written your depreciation. So rows I'll select my depreciation cell and in columns I'll select my EBITDA cell and then OK. And you can see if your EBITDA is 30,000 and depreciation is 750, your net profit will be 2650. Now if your EBITDA is 30 and depreciation is 850, your answer will be 25950. If your EBITDA is 30,000 and depreciation increases to 950, this is the situation. Or if your EBITDA increases 240 and depreciation remains same to 750, this will be your net profit. So in this way, I can calculate the impact of two variables on your net income. So basically what we are going to see in what if, what is the impact of one variable on another variable, or what is the impact of two variables on the third variable. So this is how we are going to see what if. Now if I come to the, right now we have done it with the help of my mouse, and if I am going to do it with the help of your tabs, that means I am not going to use the mouse. So your command will be Alt. First of all, let's say if I am putting the Alt, you can see all the shortcuts are over here. Data means A. So next thing you will click your A. Now once you will click your A, what if value is W. After that you will click W. And W, if you are going to put scenario manager, or if you are going to apply your goal seek or your data table, and then S. So as you are doing it, your table will be open. So if you have to do it with the tab, I can write the shortcuts over here. That means if I am going to do the scenario manager, so your tab will be equals to your Alt plus A plus W plus your S, scenario manager. Now, if you are going to take it for your goal seek, so goal seek will be Alt plus A plus W plus G, goal seek for G. Now let's come to the third one. Third one is your data table. Now data table again Alt plus A plus W plus data table, for table it's T. So these are the shortcut keys that you will be using while doing your what if. Hope you have able to understand how we are going to perform it. Thank you.